David Gray, your 15 seconds on how prawn crackers relate to the economy starts now.
Prawn crackers are a very important part of the British economy because people buy them. Buying things is a very important part of the British economy because it gets money. That is basically why prawn crackers are important to the economy. People enjoy Chinese takeaways. When they have Chinese takeaways, they often buy some seaweed, some crispy beef, but always prawn crackers. Sometimes they're chucked in for free, which I think is very friendly. Although this doesn't help the British economy, because if it's free, you don't get any money from it. Prawn crackers are important in combating inflation, because if you chuck them in for free, then they don't cost any money, which means that inflation remains steady, at a steady rate. However, if prawn crackers start becoming £5 for a prawn cracker, this would represent high inflation, bad for the economy. But as this doesn't happen, they are good for the economy.
Thank you, David.
That's quite alright.
David Gray, your time on just how much you hate the French starts now.
Hating the French is an important concept of being British. The fact that I'm wearing a beret is probably slightly ironic, given the chosen topic, but I didn't know that was going to be the chosen topic when I put my beret on. Unfortunately, I don't actually hate the French that much, but for the purpose of this video, I think they're bastards. Particularly the people who are très français. That is the French for very French, as you may have guessed. I learnt that in my GCSE. I did GCSE French. Yeah, look what I can do with my beret. I can't see as well as I could before I did that. That is pretty cool. Where was I? Oh yes, the French. I went to Paris once. It was fun.
David Gray, if you were going on Mastermind, what would be your chosen topic, and why?
Mastermind, eh? Yes. Well, Mastermind is a wonderful programme, presented by John Humphreys, as you may well know. Bit of background information there. I'm thinking that my chosen topic would have to be based somewhat around dragons, a favourite topic of mine. St. George fought a dragon once. He won. This is not true, but he was made a saint for it. I think I should be made a saint for something that I didn't do. It would be a lot of fun. But I digress. Dragons. Dragons are in Harry Potter. They make things up about dragons as well, but it's a work of fiction. That is why they make things up. Dragons breathe fire. I like fire. I'm not a pyromaniac, but I like fire. That's why I would choose dragons. Also, dragons are taller than me. There aren't many things that are taller than me. Perhaps trees and giraffes. And also dragons. That's about...
David Gray.
Oh, sorry, you just caught me while I was meditating. Please carry on.
You have roughly 51 seconds to answer the question, why?
Why? What a profound question. Also a letter of the alphabet, usually coming after X. But if you're doing the alphabet backwards, it comes after Z. I'm not very good at doing the alphabet backwards. It confuses me, because you start at Z. Conventionally, you start the alphabet with an A, moving on to B, and progressing on to C, before you get to Y. Why? The start of many a question. In fact, I don't think there are many sentences with Y in that aren't questions. This is because Y is a question in itself. Why are we here? Why? Just think about that.
David Gray.
C3 Maths. You should try it sometime. Sorry.
Next to you, you should find a dictionary. In the next 50 seconds, please find your favourite word and explain why.
To be honest, I don't think I've got time to find my favourite word, so I'll open it up at a page and explain one of the words on there to you. Interbreed. It's a verb. Interbred. To breed with each other. Crossbred. As a Watford fan, I'm obliged to tell you that these are called people from Luton. Some may find that offensive. I, however, find it informative and possibly quite true. I don't know. I've never been to Luton. Actually, I have. I tell a lie. I went to Luton a few weeks ago. To Luton Airport. It's practically a shed. I didn't like it much. It was dirty and it smelled. Apparently I've got to talk some more about Luton. Interbreeding. Good.
David Gray.
Oh, hello there. You caught me in the middle of doing my African role play.
After each of the following words, state the first word that comes into your head as soon as possible. Fred.
Brothel.
Monkey.
Harry Potter.
Envelope.
Jesus.
Deirdre.
Mental home.
Manhattan.
Bathe.
What?
Bathe. It's a word that means an artificial camera in the ancient language of German.
Okay. Child.
Mum.
Ingestion.
Penguin.
Believe.
Ladybird.
Molecular.
Possibility.
Unibrow.
Defenestration.
Tomato.
Menstruation.
Shrink.
No.
Words.
I've got lots of words left. They're all in my head. They come out in very strange orders. I don't understand it.
David Gray.
Hello.
For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen to that. That was what's called a prayer. I don't like prayer much. It's boring. It's a waste of my time. Unfortunately, if you go to church you have to pray. This is why, kids, you don't go to church. It's practically doing drugs. Just say no. I went to church once. It was at Christmas. Hated it. Talked about Christmas. Really, Jesus. Quite an important figure in the Christmas holiday. But church, is it really necessary? Is prayer really necessary? Is God really necessary? Well, I think the answer to those is... I've forgotten what the questions were, to be honest. So they probably have different answers, varying in length. Either they got a yes or no answer, or they haven't. That's pretty much what prayer is.
David Gray.
I've got my arm stuck behind my head. It's very uncomfortable.
You have 54 seconds to talk about the rapid decline of Britain's shrimping business.
That's one of the main sad things about Britain these days. Grimsby used to be a prime hub, even, for the shrimping business. I used to be in the shrimping business in Grimsby, you know. My father was in the trade. I followed him into it. Unfortunately, we didn't know where the shrimps were. We weren't very successful. We thought they would be in the rivers, so, well, we didn't come up with a very good plan. We just threw a chicken in there. Hoped they'd be attracted to it. It didn't work. The chicken just drowned. Wasn't very fun. We didn't find any shrimps. Most people in the shrimping business tend to go to the sea. That probably would have been a better plan, but we didn't think of it at the time. But then hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Haha! Look at that, my arm's free. Wonderful. That's a load off my mind. But anyway, the shrimping business, that's certainly not a load off my mind. It's dead. It's dead!
David Gray.
This calculator doesn't have enough numbers.
Keeping a straight face, listen to these words. Manflap. Jiggle. Niplet. Undercarriage. Titter. Passage work. Toss. David Gray.
This man's just freaking me out.
David Gray.
Oh, well done. I was about to have an epiphany about how the world works, but it's gone now, thank you very much.
David Gray, put all of these in your mouth. David Gray.
I've got my arm stuck. Sorry.
David Gray.
I've got my arm stuck behind my head. It's very uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, I can't. David Gray.
I was staring at your wardrobe.
David, show me your special place.
It depends whether you mean that in a literal or metaphorical way.
David Gray.
I was staring at a folder.
David Gray.
Sorry, I was just thinking about puppies.
David Gray.
Sorry, I was just thinking about bunny rabbits.
David Gray.
Sorry, I was just thinking about Disney films.